Hey, welcome in. Today we are building a little Christmas cabin. Okay, so not really little. We are building a big Christmas cabin. I often see pictures on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram of these beautiful houses. Real architecture is so beautiful and just a great thing that you can easily pull inspiration from. If you're not sure what to build, I always think looking up houses and getting an idea. And then, of course, the internet listens. So if you start pulling ideas for houses, more houses will show up in your feeds. And then you'll have this constant inspiration loop, if you will. This house was pretty unique in shape. It meant I had to use a little bit of a different type of roofing. I'm using hexagonal roofs, so 6 sides, and flattening them out a lot, and I'm going to use 4 of them. This roofing took me a long time. I knew that I could make it happen. It just took me a minute to get it figured out. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you are just trying things until you can make them work. And even then, sometimes it also means changing up the way your build looks in certain little areas. I ended up coming in and creating this deeper shape to allow for some better roofs. And octagonal roofs are really weird. As you see, I remove a wall and then the roofs pop in, but you just kind of roll with it. If it's something you want to do and it was something that I wanted to do, you just roll with it and make it work. And so we make it work. I use these cute little diagonal gabled roofs to kind of create these little corner pieces. And I just think it's such a fun shape. It's just so pretty and really unique to anything that I've ever done. I will say, I know that this speed build is moving fast, okay? But lots of decisions had to be made in this big house. This build ended up taking me about 7.5 hours. First of all, I tend to be kind of indecisive when it comes to some things. I really play around with the roofing a lot, just trying to make sure that everything is laying correctly. You don't see a whole bunch of edges. I also play around with the layout a lot. And I play around with windows and placement of said windows because options are great and I want to have all the options in the world. I don't want to be limited, but sometimes too much is too much. And there's lots of brown options for windows. So I just wanted to make sure everything really vibed well together. And that you got this really great cabin in this Christmas cabin. Also, don't be alarmed if you look over and see that I've changed this lot type to haunted house residential. We are actually in Granite Falls. I wanted the scenery. And I read this trick that if you turn it to a haunted house residential, your sim can buy it and it's more advanced. I just ended up having my sim take a vacation to come be in this world for 7 days so that I could build this house. And that worked perfectly. It is a locked lot. So you have to use the cheat bb.enable free build. But with that, you can pretty much build a house wherever you want to. House, community lot, whatever your heart desires. I use a lot of seasons for the windows and the doors, and I mix in just a little bit of horse ranch as well. Horse ranch has that really good wood swatch that looks a little dirty and rustic. It's what I use for the log cabin wallpaper, and I use it for the staircases. I use it for the fencing around the patio and for the railing. I even use it for the columns. I mean, like I said, it's really great. It just adds to that rustic cabin feel that I wanted. And then Seasons just has really great windows and doors. There's a variety, so you really can use it for the whole house. Not all the packs have that. So I'm working this layout little by little. I know it's kind of weird. It does change. I wanted you to have this really big space for your sim to entertain and have a Christmas party. But I also wanted it to be a super functional house and have bedrooms, maybe an office or a sitting area leading into the bedroom. So that's what this little room was going to be. I end up trashing it and opening it up and putting a Christmas tree there, actually. But the thought was definitely there. We've officially taken saucer lights, put them everywhere. They are my favorite light. They're super easy to use and they light up the room really well. Of course, I was going to use the little holiday freebie pack a lot, as well as seasons, because there's so many great holiday items. Duh, it's a holiday pack and a season pack. It makes sense. So of course we're going to use the fireplace. I love it. I think it's so pretty. It's decorated for Christmas. Setting up which sofas I wanted to use was really rough. All the reds are a little different. All the greens are a little different. Trying to make sure that I liked the way it looked, that it was going to flow well and make sense, because obviously everything's kind of a little bit different from different packs. I ended up landing on the Life and Death sofa. It's beautiful and green, and we use the cats and dogs little love seat with the high back. I like it a lot, actually. This is a little base game square rug that comes in red and white, so it just made sense. I feel like it's that like TikTok things that make sense in my Christmas cabin. A red and white square rug, a green sofa, red love seat, and a white bookshelf. I don't know. I love the movie stuff hangout pack. The movie hangout stuff pack curtains. I use them quite often. One of those things that tends to be a staple in my builds. It's got really great neutral colors. It can overlap really well. You can make it extra wide across the wall, or you can bring it close together. And I just love it. I think it's really great. So of course we use them in red. I was thinking about this cottage living wallpaper. However, it was super cottage cabin feeling, and I didn't know if I wanted to go that cabin-y. So instead, we used the really great bistro wallpaper. It's green and absolutely gorgeous. In the bathrooms, I just used base game red and white tiles. Super simple, easy. The bathrooms, for the most part, are copy-paste of each other because there's 3 of them. They're not like the focus of this house. But I do decorate them a little bit different when it comes to the Christmas decorations. I like this high school years wallpaper. It's really pretty. I like the decorative look at the top of the tile. It screams kind of like holly when it comes in that orange and green. But the white is really clean and just leaves it a clean slate for me to do red counters and green cabinets, all from the Life and Death pack. Seriously, my favorite. I really love this kitchen, and I love the Life and Death pack for bringing me these cabinets and counters and the sink, that farmhouse sink, but it's made out of marble. It's gorgeous, really gorgeous. At this point, I'm realizing that we need a dining room. How am I making this beautiful, big Christmas home ready for you to have parties in and celebrate, and there not be a dining room, especially when you've got this really great table that matches the fireplace? We use the My Wedding Stories chairs. They're so pretty. I really like these chairs. They're super festive, and even though they have the yellow flower in them, I think they go so well for Christmas time. I use a little bistro kit picture. It's red, green, has a little bit of the yellow. I like it. I think it's really pretty and just adds a little something right there on that diagonal wall. I'm telling you that this house is Christmas through up everywhere, and I'm here for it. So I hope you are too, because I use as much as I can from all the different packs that allow us to have some Christmas items. I just think it's so fun to just decorate to your heart's content. We did that this year. The past few years have been kind of like rough. They've been super busy. Last year, I got sick like December 1st. I had, the thing we don't talk about. And then I got the flu after I got that other thing. And it was rough out here. I was sick for the entire month of December. So we had a tree, but we didn't like fully decorate. We didn't even celebrate Christmas until like a week after Christmas. Of course, my boys still opened their presents on Christmas Day, and I helped them back for when we did our family get together, but it was not good. So this year, it has been so fun. We had a little like cookies and Christmas cheer type party, invited some of our friends over. My sisters and I made tons of cookies, and we had a coffee bar. And our friends came over and we decorated the house. So we got to put up our tree and we all decorated it. And we put pictures all around the living room. We pulled all our normal pictures off and just splattered the walls with Christmas cheer. And then a couple days later, my boys and I put a Christmas tree up in the bedroom and got to decorate that with all our special ornaments. And so this house is just Christmas cheer everywhere, and I'm here for it. One of my sisters even went outside. We've got some lights up around the house. We have some little decorative items in the yard, some blow-ups. We're screaming Christmas this year, so I really wanted to scream Christmas in a Sims build. These little starlights came in the little holiday pack, the little free pack you get when you download Sims. You just go and download the little free pack, and the garland comes in it as well. And I just built a wall and alt placed all this garland and lights because on the diagonal walls it widens everything, and so it's a little more difficult to just place things on it. They're spread apart because instead of the wall being like one tile wide, when it's stretched across the diagonal, it's like almost like 1.5 tiles wide. And so I really just had to get in there and alt place them. Building a wall helped me do that. I was able to build the wall, alt place everything, and then delete the walls by putting my fence around. And it looks great. They look like they've hung up the garland and the lights on the fencing. I took these beautiful giant garlands from Seasons and kind of put them across the front. It ends up being a really pretty focal point. Seasons has this great mailbox that has lots of different holiday swatches. So of course we're using the red, white, and green one for Christmas. It matches our foundation absolutely perfect because it's Seasons as well. My biggest grievance is that really cute little banner that has like different pictures on it that I'm using on the diagonal walls outside, it can't be used inside, and I take issue with that. So I'm back in decorating a little bit. I have this little table with those little poppers on it. I just recently learned what they are, which is crazy. I loved learning about it. At this point, I'm realizing I don't have a Christmas tree in the house, and this grand Christmas house, and I'm going to shove the Christmas tree halfway under the staircase, did not sit right with me. So it was time to delete this pretend room that I wanted. I just wanted that little room right there. But honestly, putting the Christmas tree in that little nook was perfect. It has its own space. It's now a focal point. And it didn't feel like I was trying to hide it under the staircase because that's not what this house is about. I sized up these nutcrackers. I think they're great. I ended up using them outside, sized up even more. Not too crazy, just like one more size up. But they're just so cool. I like them and they fit the vibe so well. Of course, we're coming in here and getting Christmas presents and putting them around the tree. I'm using the decorative ones and then the large pile and just trying to make it so fun and feel like this house is ready for Christmas. All right, we're back in the kitchen thinking, how am I going to Christmas this place up? Like, am I gonna just put a wreath? How is it gonna look to add a little more Christmas into the kitchen? So we add a Christmas tree. I thought about making it small, but nope, I needed it to be full size. A full-size Christmas tree in the kitchen just felt right. And it's so pretty. I think it matches really well. It's got like that deeper red color, and then the gold balls match the gold in all of the fixtures. It's just really great. I love it. I aspire to be this extra at some point in my life. I don't have it in me right now, but one day I will be this extra. I love the little train that comes in base game. And last year I did a Christmas house and I sized them up bigger than this and put them around the kitchen. This time I thought it would be really cool to put them on the mantle. a little Polar Express, if you will. It has become a tradition that we go to a church every year. They have a little get together and we watch the Polar Express and drink hot cocoa. We've done it 2 years in a row, so this year will be our third. And so Christmas train just sounds right up my alley. This is a parenthood rug, and while I'm going to look around and try and decide if I want a different rug underneath this table, I actually really like the way it looks. I felt like it was very neutral. It didn't take away from all the other red and white and green in those rooms and let the table still stand out with the pretty red details. All right, once again, the bathrooms aren't anything super special. I keep it real simple for the use of items. You might see it go from a shower to a shower tub combo to just a tub, because that's what it is. But everything else really stays the same, and I try to make them super uniform across the board. At the end, I will have screenshots, and you'll be able to see a little more of what they look like, but not a lot, because it didn't feel that important. Like, they're bathrooms. They're great and fun, but in this house, the main features are not the bathroom. Life and Death has such great red and green swatches. And so I was living for this bedroom. We use one of the Life and Death beds. We use the dresser. For the nightstands, we're using Growing Together. And we're using the Modern Luxe curtains because they're unmatched. Like, for as much as I use the movie Hangout stuff pack curtains, I use the Modern Luxe ones a lot. I thought it'd be nice to have a little sitting area in the bedroom. Like I said, I originally wanted one outside of the bedroom. And while I do have a little sofa there, I really wanted this to have a vibe of you could come sit down, curl up with a book, and the privacy of your own bedroom. The wallpaper in the bedroom ends up being from the Maximal? My mind just went blank. Maximalist to the max. Decor to the max. Oh my gosh, I got there. Sometimes you just have to get there. The wallpaper is Decor to the max. I really like this wallpaper. I think in the right settings that it is not too much. But then again, I'm a maximalist, so maybe it is too much and I'm just a little bit crazy. We're upstairs and we're going to get to do these bedrooms. I decided that this was going to be a nursery and we were going to use Storybook Nursery. Now, they do have this really pretty green and gold swatch on everything, but I decided to reel it in a little bit and go for this beautiful sage green color because in the right setting, it's still very Christmas, but just softer for a baby. I am just pulling everything out. I've got the filter on for the Storybook Nursery and just looking through all the items and getting an idea of maybe what age this baby's going to be, what they're going to need. Are they going to need the bassinet, a toddler bed, or a crib? Which stage are we going for? And in the end, I decide we're going with the crib. We're going to go for infant. That way, things like the diaper changing table would be a little more relevant, as well as the mobile and the little playmat. I have to say that I love all three bedrooms so much. I mean, I know we haven't obviously finished this one. We haven't got to the third one, but I'm just putting it out there that they're some of the my favorite bedrooms. You could take the Christmas decorations down and still are just gorgeous rooms. I'm not tooting my own horn, but we've just got some really great items that we really can create such beautiful rooms in The Sims. I think the downstairs bedroom is a little more Christmassy just in its normal decor because it has so much red and green in it. But these two bedrooms upstairs, I really tried to put Christmas on the back burner when I decorated them and then add the decoration afterwards. Because maybe you're a parent obsessed with Christmas, but you don't have to just inflict that on your child unless they want it inflicted on them. You know what I mean? For the wallpaper, I use this base game wallpaper that has the paneling in this very light green wrapped around. It's so pretty and matches so well. And I don't mean to scream. I'm just real excited. I think it's gorgeous. I use these base game little kitty animal pictures. I use them in the red swatch because, once again, we're bringing some Christmas into this bedroom without it being like over the top. I love the pops of red in this room. It's subtle without being too much red and green screaming Christmas. Cottage Living has this gorgeous red, pinky, corally rug with green in it. And I end up using it twice because I wanted there to be rugs in this room in appropriate places, but I still wanted them to match and really go with the flow of the room. And I love this room. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. On to the third and final bedroom. Toddler immediately, and using this life and death green canopy toddler bed. So pretty. So I kind of filtered through life and death and was like, what's going to go with this bed? I used the rocking chair, which makes sense. There's a rocking chair in the infant room, but that there would also be a rocking chair in the toddler room. I have a toddler and I rock him to sleep a lot of nights. And it is my pleasure. And one day he won't want me to rock him to sleep. But if he wants me to, I'm there for it. I struggled a little. Oh, sorry, I got a little loud there. I struggled with curtains in this room. The windows are obviously different. You know what I mean? So we've got these like small little rectangular windows. And then we've got the one tall rectangle window, all that vertical, horizontal, all that stuff. And I wanted it to feel very fairy tale and fun for a toddler. And it needed to be pretty wide across, right? So I played around with a lot of different ideas of how we could make that work. But in the end, I ran across these high school years, little minimalist macrame curtains. They just snap into place pretty easily. I mean, it's The Sims, but absolutely gorgeous. And they fit the vibe of the room perfectly. We use the life and death dresser again in this room. It's fine. Bedroom downstairs is a long way away. It's downstairs. This is upstairs. Maybe they got a 2-for-1. Who knows? But it just made sense to continue using a little more life and death up here. We use the nightstand as well. I do use that beautiful growing together mirror. It is that braided wicker look, which I felt like really tied into the curtains. And then we use a little life and death bookshelf. All the furniture was very like against the wall. So I really wanted to have some things that kind of stuck out a little bit. So we used the life and death dollhouse, used a little Blarfy with a red scarf. And it just kind of helped to add some toys in here so it didn't look so bleak and model home, if you will. For the wallpaper, we went for it and we used this Love Struck wallpaper of this floral print. It's so pretty. The green goes very well with the life and death. I mean, life and death and Love Struck hand in hand go great together. I've used them on a build. It's my all green build. They work excellent together. And don't mind the way that this rug looks. I was just trying something, okay? But I really love the way that this wallpaper looks. And it makes this room so whimsical and just so pretty. Oh, I love these bedrooms so very much. We use a little base game rug as well as this circular life and death rug. And once again, everything is just flowing well and matching well. And enthralled. I love the way that these rooms look. At this point, we are doing the cozy event reward thing. And we got this really cool frame TV that has some holiday swatches on it. And I'm in love with that. We got a new little mat. And as I play through this, I started adding the things that we're getting from the event rewards and using them in this build. Now, I obviously have finished this build and I'm recording this December 11th. So there are things that are going to come out that would probably be great for this home. However, we're getting this done and getting this out here because It's Christmas. It's time. It's time to throw out a Christmas build, okay? It's time. I continued the bistro wallpaper upstairs, just kind of liking that fluidity that it all goes well together. And what better than a giant Christmas tree right in front of your window upstairs? It's not decorated yet. But that's the fun of you bringing your sim here, that they can come decorate the Christmas tree together. Also, this rug, beautiful, perfect little base game rug, matches this wallpaper like 1,010%. Also, don't judge this room too harshly yet. This is still like my let's work it out stage, so it looks a little crazy. I was trying to make these sofas work and they just weren't. It was a very weird open space. Even the Christmas tree being there is like, okay, well, if it's not Christmas and there's no tree there, what does that look like? What does that space look like? So I decided we would bring in more bookshelves, because what the world needs now is bookshelves. Lots and lots of beautiful bookshelves. And while I like the Life and Death ones, I ultimately went for the Realm of Magic bookshelves that I used downstairs already, but hey, it is what it is. They're absolutely gorgeous. They have this really ornate look to them, so they match well, and the white just pops off. But wanted to create this little cozy area where you'd come sit in front of the Christmas tree. Once again, maybe have some cocoa and get to read a Christmas story or read a book in general and just relax and enjoy Christmas. Now, I will say this house is play tested, so things may move very little, like just a little bit of movement with a few things. That way it's completely playable for you and your Sims. I use these cute little chalkboard, wooden, whatever you want to call it. I turned my grid on and just made sure that they were symmetrical. There are 6 swatches, and so it felt kind of perfect that they would line the hallways. But we're back in the toddler room, and I really needed to bring some Christmas into this room. It was severely lacking, which was fine. That's what I chose, right? I wanted this room to be a little more normal forward, almost like toddler forward, with some Christmas decorations to bring in, obviously, some Christmas. All right, listen, I am garland happy. I am wreath happy. It is what it is. I told you this house is Christmas through up, and I'm here for it. And if you're still watching, I think you're here for it too. Wreath crazy. I'm going to need to go back and tally how many wreaths are in this house. When I play tested, there were some wreaths blocking Sims from going into some doors. So a couple of wreaths get removed or moved around in general. But for the most part, wreaths everywhere. I went a little wreath crazy in this bathroom as well. Once again, completely playable. I play tested it and we are good. But it's what made me decide to go ahead and get rid of the bathtub shower combo and get just a bathtub, so that way I could wrap this room in garland. Did I say wreaths a second ago? Garland everywhere. And wreaths everywhere. Hopefully this is sounding okay on audio. Wreath? Oh well. As I'm looking at it, I'm like, I should have put a wreath right there under that garland in the middle of that window. Missed opportunity. But this is already on the gallery. So too late, too bad, too slow, too sad. What is it? Too slow, so bad, too slow. I don't know. What am I saying? Anyways, moving on. Adding lots of clutter and plants everywhere. I love plants. I'm sure that you're going to get tired of hearing me say it at some point in life. Hopefully that point is not yet. I was just loving all the deep greens and reds that these plants have to offer. We use a little tiny living tray with 2 candles, plants, and books, and it's in that deep red color. Gorgeous. My Wedding Stories has the little lantern. I love this little area. Like I said, the bedrooms are my favorite. I love this whole house, but the bedrooms just feel so festive and ready for Christmas. This bathroom has that weird shape to it, and it just wasn't working out for me. So we went ahead and closed it off And I just think it looks so much better getting that weird little corner out of there. Sometimes the weird corners are okay and you can make them work. Houses obviously have flaws, and sometimes there are some weird corners and nooks and crannies in houses. But having this one closed off just made it look right in here. It felt like a more intentional shape. All right, in here for the kitchen, very minimal clutter. We use the vintage books and then the aged nectar bottles, as well as a little utensil holder, a little utensil countertop holder thingy-majigger, and just kept it simple. And I think it looks gorgeous right there and allows your sim to have plenty of space to cook. We use these cute red base game curtains to add a little extra pizzazz, as well as some garlands underneath the cabinets. The kitchen's pretty great. I'm pretty happy with it. All right, hear me out. This is where things start getting dicey in my life. First of all, it is raining. I know. I have a sim who had been playtesting stuff for me. So yes, it's raining and there's a lightning strike from the ground. But that's none of my problems. The Sims has been really glitchy for me, and this was part of it. I was working on this build, and while everything was working fine, it started glitching out, and I'd click something and then it wouldn't actually click it. I did post a short about this the other day, because I'm just having major problems. And I can say that I've been pretty lucky. I know that some people have had their games be unplayable for months. Mine hasn't been. It's been pretty good for me. I haven't had major issues, but I'm having major issues now where I'm building and it won't let me do things, or I'm trying to play and I'm not able to click Sims or click objects. And it's really rough out here. So I have been getting some feedback of things to try, but let me know if you're having this problem where maybe you're trying to build, move things around, and it's decided it's not going to let you do those things, because I'm really struggling with this right now. I love The Sims and I love playing and I love putting content out there, but watch this. I know it's kind of off to the corner, but I have placed that staircase and now it won't let me place it. Now it won't let me delete it. It won't let me move it. It is stuck and I can't do anything with it. And it's super frustrating. So I ended up having to close the game. I couldn't even save the game. So what I did was I loaded back in, changed the weather, and went ahead and replaced everything that I had kind of lost because I wasn't able to save my game. And I can't get rid of that lightning spot. It'll go away at some point in time, but it is there still on the gallery with a little lightning spot. Super frustrating. Sorry, just to get back on track to what I was saying, it's super frustrating. And so if you're having that problem, let me know. What have you done to fix it? Because I don't know what to do to fix it. I repaired my game. All I can think that I need to do is delete some of my saves. Maybe they're too involved. I didn't have mods until this point. I hadn't updated my mods in forever. I had pulled my mods folder out of The Sims, which I only have UI cheats and MC Command Center. So I can just do some basic things like change the weather when I want to. So I had that pulled out. I didn't have my mods folder even in there. So I'm not sure what the problem is. And it's not just the Sims that are being glitchy, it's building. And it happens again to me where I move the staircases and the staircases are a problem. I don't know. I don't know. It happens again before I'm even done with this build where I have to close out of the game because I can't get it to save and I can't get things to move. So sorry to bring that down, but this is how the house is looking. We used the little cozy event reward bushes that has the lights in them. So cute. We've just decorated the porch a little more. We're using the life and death swing set. We are landscaping. We have a little fire pit out here for your Sims to come outside in the backyard and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the weather. And so I'm just trying to make it look like Granite Falls, but obviously you could put this house anywhere. And so, look, this is it again. I'm moving the staircase and I wanted to move this rug over. It was off center and it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me do anything. I couldn't lower the house, raise the house, move the rug, move the stairs. And then it just saved forever. And so I finally closed the game and came back and redid everything once again. We're just adding lights around to kind of light everything up a little more, to kind of just light everything up a little more in the nighttime. Obviously, there are lots of Christmas lights everywhere, but I just felt like some outdoor lights would be needed. Now we're getting in here and just adding a little bit of terrain paint around some of the objects around the house and the landscaping just to make it feel a little more natural. And then last thing I do is take a little more terrain paint and kind of softly add this rocky terrain paint to look a little worn, like your sim has walked that path many times. It's a little dirty. There's some grass coming through. Just a very soft terrain paint. And I love the way it looks. So we are basically done with this house and it's time to jump into the screenshots and see this house for all its beauty. I have to say, I love a lot of my builds. They're so fun and so pretty. And what kind of builder would I be if I didn't like the builds that I put out there? You know what I mean? But this Christmas house is so gorgeous. I'm absolutely in love with every single room. I mean, the bedrooms are obviously my favorites. But tell me what your favorite room is, because I'm curious to know. I definitely made this house throw up Christmas all over the place, and I'm here for it. Like I said before, this house is play tested, and it's on the gallery waiting for you to download it and use it in your gameplay. My EA ID is katxthrash, just like the name here on YouTube. I hope you like this video. If you do, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely keep coming back for more. And please do let me know if you're having any issues like I mentioned in the video. And if you are having those issues, how did you fix them? How are you fixing them? What are you doing to make your gameplay and your build a little bit better? Because these little glitches that are happening and not saving are really frustrating, and I hate that. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I hope you enjoyed this Christmas cabin. I also hope you have a wonderful evening wherever you are. Bye, y'all.